Well, I hope y'all enjoy the stop motions as much as I enjoy making them. They are a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I think they come out really cool. That and the kids like it, so that makes it even better. Well, today we're going to be putting some new brakes on the Tahoe. We got some PowerStop Extremuses. Z36 carbon fiber ceramic thermal scorched premium hardware included. What? So I guess we're about to see how it works out and if it helps us stop any better. I'm not going to do some kind of super scientific breakdown of this where we're going to go and do before and after tests. You know, I feel like if I were to start trying to get into that, I'd end up just breaking something. I can't afford to break something. No. Just like I put the power programmer on here, and I really want to do, like, you know, before and after 0 to 60 test, quarter mile test, but we're in a 24-year-old Tahoe on 35s. I'm pretty sure it's still got the factory U-joints in it. I mean, I really just can't see myself putting that much hurting on this thing for, you know, a few views. You know, maybe later on, whenever I'm actually making money off of this, we can do some cool stuff like that. But until then, I'm not getting paid to make this stuff. This is all out of pocket, and my pockets aren't very deep, you know. So, anywho, let's get over. Stop procrastinating about getting started on this. It's already getting hot. I'm going to do the driver's side first because it is in the sun, and then we'll move over to the passenger side where it's nice and shaded. So we'll save the shaded part for later on, whenever it's even hotter. I got the fan out here. I'm about to have to run inside and grab the battery. I threw it on the charge. It had 2 bars, but, you know, figured I'd go ahead and let it charge up because I'm going to need it today. It's going to need to put out. So I'm going to go grab that battery, and then whenever you see me again, we're going to be right there. Right there. Jeez, look at that. Glistening. Like Fabio. But, you know, not Fabio. Alright, well, I didn't start the camera so you guys wouldn't have to listen to me grunt and groan, making old man noises trying to get down here. What's up, Scout? What's up? Here's Scout. You gonna finish it for me? So here's something you can do. I got my ratchet on that lower brake bolt that I can't get to with the impact. Well, it's too tight to brake by hand. So I just took my extension and a socket that'll fit over the end of it. Makes a real quick cheater pipe. Also makes a good pry bar. Select ceramic. Looks like he's replaced these before. Ooh, and those things look ugly. Trash. Alright, one thing I've been curious about is if these have, it looks like they do have a bit of a non-directional finish on them, so. Rear passenger side. Okie dokie. Scout. Hey, bring me the anti-seize. No, the anti-seize. You don't got to come all the way over. I just want you to bring me the anti-seize. I don't think he knows what anti-seize is. He can't reach it anyway. It's above the door. We're back. So I'm just going to put some anti-seize on the inside of the rotor here where it's going to meet up against this. The reason I don't put it on here instead is because it's easier. It's a flat surface inside of there. I don't got a bunch of studs hanging, blocking my path. If you've ever had to fight one of these to come off, you definitely know why I'm doing this. got him. Oh, I should have done it on this side while I had the chance. Ew, why does it look like I just wiped my butt? Gross. Alright, well, I got the brake caliper bracket back on, just loosely mounted. So now I can take the caliper off of the bracket and be able to work with everything that I need to change out. Try to compress these calipers nice and gentle like, so I'm not stuck having to bleed these things. Sometimes you do still gotta bleed them, but most of the time, I think I've only had to do it once where I actually had to bleed my brakes after doing it like this. Just take it nice and easy, slow and steady. I think that's it. Seems like I never have a knife on me when I'm doing this stuff. Oh, irresponsible. Something I just learned recently. These little pins that the caliper slides around on, they get kind of gummed up over the years. So if you just try to pop your caliper off and replace your pads real quick and put it back on, these things might just get you. I've gotten away with it for all these years, and then whenever I did the rear brakes on the Jeep, it finally caught up with me. Those pins seized up on me and wouldn't let the brakes work right. I mean, it's an easy fix. You know, you just pop it off and put your new pins in, or, you know, clean up your old ones if you can. One of mine got so messed up that I had to change it. It was all corroded out. Just sucked having to take it all apart and redo all the work that I just did. Ugh. That one was a little bit dry, wouldn't you say? Alright, that's a little bit better. Let's get its little booty back on. Where'd the little booties? There's the little booties. Come on, you gotta put your pants on, dude. Let's go. That's fighting me. Alright, well that took an embarrassing amount of time. Finally, one side done. That's kind of embarrassing how long that took. Okie dokie. Put some lip balm onto these. There you go. And bow. Okie dokie. Some Loctite, just so you know, it comes in a chapstick tube now. A little bit less messy. Less likely to get, you know, buried at the bottom of my box and squished. Have it squeeze out all over the place. Where in the heck did my lug nuts disappear to? Oh, found the lug nuts. Oh man, I just set them up there. I sure hope I get lucky again and I don't gotta bleed these brakes. I greatly dislike bleeding brakes. It's getting hotter by the minute. I got my fan tucked away under the truck so it can be blowing the air from the shade under there. Loving lifted trucks is kind of an expensive habit. You know, you kind of spend your nights praying that all your tires don't wear out in the same year between trucks. You know, all you can afford is one set of tires a year, maybe. Go take a bath, Scout. Go take a bath. What an idiot. Holy crap, that thing was tight. Oh, gosh. I did not want that thing coming off, I guess. Alright, well, you guys get the idea. I'll come back to you here in a little bit once I've made some progress here. Oh, well, it's a little bit later in the day here. Thought I had my camera on when I was pulling this tire off. I didn't. But, he did just miss me breaking my ratchet. I kind of, whenever I put all these back on after the lift kit, I was able to get, you know, real good access to it because my tie rod wasn't connected yet. And I'm trying to avoid having to take the tie rod off. I don't want to make extra steps, but honestly, I think it's going to be faster and easier to just go ahead and remove the tie rod so I can get access to this and get it done with the impact. I like my brake caliper bolts to be really, really tight because I've had these things back themselves out before. So let's get this tie rod taken loose so we can have access. I've had some pretty good experiences buying things from Vever, but this one here, it's little nuts stripped out on me on the caster wheel and kind of disappointing. So I've left it back here. I was scared to sit on it, but you know what? I want to have something to sit on. There we go. I'm left-handed, by the way, so all that was doing right-handed hits. It's difficult for a guy like me. So if it looked a little goofy, don't judge me, all right? That was with my non-dominant hand. Put that nut back on here so I don't lose it. Cotter pin can just go right back through the hole. Okie dokie. Now we can get in here. Yeah. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right. And to get these caliper pins out, you need a T55, big old Torx head. Sure glad I kept track of that thing through all these years. I was a little iffy on whether or not that was going to come out or if it was going to strip on me. It had some dirt in there. But I risked it for the biscuit and it paid out. So earlier I had a little bit of trouble. Normally I just see that these little rubber booties on here are good to go, so I'll leave them in there. But this time this kit came with some new ones and I really wanted to put them in and use up all the good stuff that this kit offered, so I fought them for a good while. They're like, I didn't realize that they were like it's like a pressed in kind of metal fitting that seats down into there. I didn't know that. I've never done that before. I've always just put it right back. And they also have these little rubber dudes that go all the way down into there. So let's get all this switched out. Hopefully I can do it faster than what I did earlier. Let me get my hammer, let me get my pry bar. Oh, nope, yeah, hammer and a chisel now. I don't want to use my big hammer because that thing just gets cumbersome. And there's one. That was much faster than what it was earlier. And let's get this other one. Seems like a bit of a pain in the butt to put on it here. You think they would have come up with something better. I'm guessing in the last 20 something years they have come up with something better. I don't know. Definitely makes me wish I would have spent the extra couple of $100 to get the whole caliper kit and everything, but Whatever. You can't tell me that every mechanic went through all this crap every time they did a brake job on one of these. That's nuts. That's not a good design. I don't like it. Alright. Jesus. That's why I don't like this chair. Yeah. Get rid of that turd. O'Reilly's had the brake clean on sale, 2 for $8. So I got stocked up on a whole case while I had the chance. Ta-da! Alright, let's get this big old dang stupid tire back on here. And banana split, we're back. Will you cooperate? Jeez. I need to get a new one of these chairs. I really want to get the big Icon yard creeper thing. Some big old off-road tires. Yeah. Oops. Lefty loosey, John. Lefty loosey. Yeah. These things are about as gross as the ones from the other side. Let's get all that cleaned up. These back calipers are really tight for some reason. Probably because it's been so long since they've been pushed back in. Hopefully they don't get ruined doing this. I've had that happen. Final stretch. Let's hope we don't mess it up. I messed it up. Notice anything? Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to put it all back together. What an idiot. Sometimes I really surprise myself. Alright, now we're right back to where we were however long ago that was. That was a big pain in the butt. But the good news is I might actually have a parking brake now. I kind of over adjusted this one outwards and had to try to fight it to get it to go back in just a little bit so I could get the drum on it. I don't know the proper way to, you know, tighten all that up and make it right, so I just got a little bit tighter than what it was because I didn't have anything at all. So I figured, hey, you know what? Push it out a little bit. It'll be better than what it was. And if it's not, well, I didn't have nothing to begin with, so. Well, there you have it. Nice, shiny, new drilled and slotted rotors. Nice. I've always wanted to do an upgrade like that. This is pretty awesome. This is super duper awesome. Oh my God. Alright, I'm not going to bore you with me getting this last tire put back on. So I'll get this done real quick and then we'll meet up inside the truck. See if these brakes need to be bled or not. Let's really hope that the old trick played out again and I don't got to do that because I don't like bleeding brakes. All right, here we go. Talk to you in a minute. Before I started it up, I slowly pressed the brakes, short strokes in and out, and slowly got longer strokes until I started feeling pressure. And started it up, pressed the brakes a couple more times. I guess here we go. Let's see if it'll stop for us. Alright, we're rolling. We're rolling. Ah, it stops. Well, at least we got that going. That's a good start. Alright, it stops. I'm gonna go get all these extra tools and all my trash and stuff offloaded, and after this I got one more thing that we can do, but I'll probably do that first thing in the morning. I'm hungry. It's dinner time. So I'll see y'all in a minute, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so the next order of business is going to be installing the trailer brake controller on this thing. And it's actually extremely easy from what I'm understanding. I think the hardest part is going to be routing the wire and getting that tucked up out of the way, and finding a decent enough spot to mount the actual trailer brake controller where I'm not going to be dinking my knee on it every time I get in and out of here. So if you look up under here, there's that junction box right there. It's normally covered by this. It's just got a little plastic nut that goes right here in the middle. You can get it by finger tight. So you pop that off. It's a little bit difficult because of these little pull tabs that are on it. Right here, and up here. But looking in here, this one right here says trailer 6-way. So that's what we need to splice into. And this right here is just the kit that I got from O'Reilly's. It looks like it's the right one. So I guess we'll see. It's made for Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC. And this is just its little nut that goes on there. There's no actual threading, it's just a plastic push tab thing. So we can just slide them back onto there. So now we just got to figure out where we're going to put this at. Oh, and it comes with its wiring end for the plug portion. My truck actually came with its end of the wiring, but I didn't want to have to do all the splicing and stuff. 20 bucks. I got one that's all one solid piece. It's got nice looming on it. It looks real professional. So that's what we're going to go with. I think it was just having it nice and neat like that and not having to worry about it is definitely worth the extra couple of dollars. I've been sitting here talking to my camera for no reason. All right. Well, that's the controller all installed. It looks nice and slick up there. This is the view from up top. So I can get in there and it doesn't affect where I sit. I'm not hitting it with my knee. I really like how clean that wire went in. I'm glad that I spent the extra money to just get the one that is pre-loomed and pre-wired for everything. So now that we're through that part, we ran into an issue last night. We took the Tahoe out to bed in the brakes and go through PowerStop's braking procedure, which I'll show you. They want you to drive up to 40 miles an hour and do moderate to aggressive stops from 40 miles an hour to 10 miles an hour in rapid succession, and then go 35 miles an hour to 5 miles an hour, again moderate to aggressive stops without actually stopping, and then drive the truck for at least 5 minutes to let the brakes cool down. That is PowerStop's recommended braking procedure, and that's what I did. Except I drove it for about 20 minutes afterwards just to make sure that they had plenty of time to cool down and get back to operating temps. Well, whenever we got home, I could smell brake pads really bad. So used the old sniffer test and went around the truck like a dang drug sniffing dog, and finally found that it was the right rear. And I was able to confirm that with my thermometer. I have one of those, oh, what do you call it? The little laser pointed thermal tactical thermometer things. All three of the other rotors were at about 170 to 200 degrees, depending on what part of the rotor you're pointing at. This rear passenger one was showing like 374 degrees. So I whipped the truck over here in front of the house where I have my floodlight at and jacked it up, and I got that caliper pulled off real fast. I went to O'Reilly's this morning and got it a new caliper. Thankfully that was only about 65 bucks after my discount. So that really helped out with it not being super expensive. So sorry I didn't get footage of it, but it was a real quick process, just swapping it over. This one's got some fancy gray paint. It's unfortunate that I couldn't get all the other ones matching, but whatevs. I don't want to spend the money on it. We're still on a budget, guys. You know, we can't do everything super cool yet. So as soon as I get help out here, I'm going to be bleeding those brakes and retesting it to make sure everything else is fine. Hopefully none of the other ones decide that they want to die after I went through all this work. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Watching the videos all the way through helps this channel out more than you can imagine. Please remember to like and subscribe. And in the next video, we're going to be working on the trailer and getting it ready to pull. I got it some goodies. Just a nice little winch to put on it. And I got it some synthetic rope instead of that wire. I do not like the wire ropes. I actually didn't really like that ZXR winch last time I had one, but mostly just because it made scary noises. I think it was mostly because of the cable, the metal cable popping and clicking all over itself. So hopefully the synthetic rope will run a lot better on there. But anyway, I'm gonna stop yammering on here, and y'all have a good day. Stay blessed, guys.